Capria Mercs, and I'm going to show you two artifacts where I have demonstrated leadership and power throughout my time at Common Ground. Leadership is showing pride in what you do and being able to lead others in a way where if someone is not strong in an area, you can have a voice and be able to stand up for them. Or if someone does have a voice but is not able to, say what they mean or what they need to say the correct way, you can pull ideas and things like that out of them. And I think a strong leader is able to know how to sustain things. Like if you want to make something better, you should be able to, go through it and help out others. So for my first artifact, I wanted to use wonder because it's, having a curiosity and a vision for something that you want to do. And for my wonder, I did I'll say a miniature lesson at Bessie Ross Arts Magnet School. It was for my power class, and basically I had to, the 21st century skill that I had to use was addressing a global issue. And so when I went to Bessie Ross, I asked the janitors to bring in 2 trash cans, one from in the hallways and another from in the cafeteria. I had the kids go through the trash cans, dig out papers, cans, bottles, and things like that, and separate them to what they think could be recycled and what should be thrown away. And it was amazing to see what the kids think would be thrown away because they had put bottles where trash should be, and they had put papers, in the right spot because they knew that paper came from trees. So that was the more obvious, but not knowing about what plastic and how it could be recycled. I had to work individually to come up with my lesson plan, and when I got to Bessie Ross, I had to come together with the class, and there's more pictures, but this was the one I chose where I was explaining to them about how recycling and reusing things could be helpful. My second artifact I chose was pride because I do a lot of things in my community, and I have to be an outspoken person, and I have to take pride in what I believe in and what I feel. And a lot of topics touch me closely about my community, especially the fact that a lot of young people go without jobs and that there's a lot of violence in our streets and our neighborhoods. And I chose the thumbs up because being proud is basically telling yourself, yes, you can do it, and yes, I did that, and taking that ownership and knowing that the thing you just did was a powerful thing. So there was a time when I had a meeting with other youth with the Senator Chris Murphy, and he asked us about jobs, education, and violence in our communities, and he wanted to know as a senator what he would be able to do. When I went to this meeting, I didn't know the level of how much political power could a person have into helping the community out. And so when I entered my AP class, my government AP class, I learned that politicians have more power than we actually realize, especially when our classmate Javier passed and Senator Blumenthal took his picture inside the chambers room, which was amazing because not only did that happen to us, but he was able to share what happened to a member of our family and our community with the rest of the country, basically. And I think that having him hear what I had to say about our community and about how I felt would be something that would sustain New Haven in general, because New Haven is a place where you never know what could actually happen. No one would ever expect to lose a friend. And going to him and speaking about, before it even happened, speaking about how I want the change to happen in New Haven and I want to sustain New Haven, about having more jobs, opening community centers. I knew that he could help, but now that being in Common Ground has improved my growth and understanding, he can do more than help. He can actually change things, as we've seen on yesterday with the $1 million that went into the Q House in the New Hallville area. So taking these 21st century skills and these standards, entering the world as a leader, it will teach me how to have communications with others and understanding their opinions and their ideas and how they think. And I have to be respectful have to be respectful to what they feel and what they think. And I appreciate Common Ground because I came in as a leader, but through the many experiences from with Mr. Cartwright, going to speak to a group of funders, from speaking in front of the school, from doing so many things here at Common Ground about having an environmental understanding, it's just, I'm proud and I'm happy that I've gained this experience, because I wish that so many other people or students in New Haven could have gotten this experience like I have. Thank you. Any questions?
Could you tell us a little bit more about what the power class was, and were you able, when you presented to the students at Betsy Ross, were you able to measure the impact of that work at all? How did you kind of get your feel for what they took away?
So when I went to Betsy Ross, again, I did a few activities with them, and I showed them a video about recycling. It had music in it. It was the perfect thing to show middle school students. And the way that I got my feedback was I actually had a survey. So at the end of my little presentation, or my mini lesson basically, I had them fill out this survey and explain to me what did they learn or what did they already know, and see if me coming there was an impact to them. So I actually did have a way to see if they learned it.
You've talked, I'm going to jump in, you've talked a little bit about how leadership for you is working as not just a strong individual person, but also guiding others and sort of working as a team, working with a diverse group of people. And your examples were interesting because it was really talking about your work as a teacher at Betsy Ross, and sort of the pride that you had in advocating for sustainability with Senator Murphy. Sort of on an individual basis, do you have an example or a reflection on how you have also worked as a leader to cultivate the leadership of others?
Okay, so I'm actually a part of a youth group called the New Elm City Dream. And honestly, a lot of the things that I do in my community, I could not have done without them. And so from calling City Hall 1,000 times a week to come out to marches, there has been my younger sisters, I have pushed them forward to speak at marches in front of over 100 people. And it's like, I'm proud to say that what I have inside me, I can, give others that kind of push to move forward and to work together as a whole. So, did that answer your question?
Sure. And is there a common ground example of something like that as well?
I believe like the common ground example that I would use would be, there's so many, I'm trying to decide which one to choose from. It would have to be during my food and the environment class when we went to Monsanto.